tonight on Ctv3 News. Search intensifies for missing Belizean man in Quintana Roo. Authorities urge public for assistance. Mid-season sugarcane crop faces challenges as quality concerns mount amidst weather and pest setbacks. And Belize's Farmers Organization celebrates success of two-year FO4ACP training program. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Thursday, April 24th, 2025.
Electricity is essential for everyday life, but behind every outlet, a lot is happening to bring you safe, reliable, and sustainable energy. Let's start at the beginning. Independent power producers across Belize generate electricity using a mix of renewable and non-renewable resources. Electricity travels across a network of high-voltage transmission lines capable of transmitting electricity across long distances. Electricity then reaches your nearest substation, where it is adjusted to a lower voltage, making it safe to travel on the distribution lines you see in your community. From there, electricity makes its final journey from the distribution lines to your home, providing you with safe and reliable power when you need it. Belize Electricity Limited. We continue to serve you.
Have you seen Lori?
Check in at the White Lotus, where paradise turns into a playground for the privileged, and every sun-soaked moment is dripping with intrigue. Stream The White Lotus on HBO Max, available with Centaur.
Good evening with your news, also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. A search continues in the state of Quintana Roo, Mexico, for 29-year-old William Javier Cruz Milan, who has been reported missing since April 19, 2025. Cruz Milan was last seen in the town of Sabidos within the municipality of Otonpe Blanco. Cruz Milan, a Belizean citizen, is characterized by his slim build and fair skin. He has short, straight black hair and large, dark brown eyes. He stands approximately 4 feet 11 inches in height and weighs about 121 pounds. A notable feature that may aid in identification is a tattoo of the Virgin of Guadalupe located on his right shoulder. An official missing persons report was filed by authorities on April 22nd. Unfortunately, no details regarding the clothing he was wearing at the time of his disappearance are available. The State Attorney General's office is urging anyone with information regarding Cruz Milan's whereabouts to come forward. Members of the public can reach out to the authorities at 983-835-0050, extension 1132. The office has also issued an emotional plea on their official alert stating, "Help him return home." As the search continues, the community is asking to stay vigilant and assist in bringing William Javier Cruz Milan home safely. The 2024-2025 sugarcane crop season is currently in its 16th week of grinding, which means that the season is more than halfway through. Since the start of this crop season, the industry has been faced with a number of setbacks, including bad weather conditions as well as pests, which have been affecting sugar plantations. Despite these challenges, however, the industry continues its production cycle, and so far over 533,000 tons of cane have been ground to produce a total of 44,289 tons of sugar. Now, while improvements have been observed since the start of the crop season in terms of the quality of cane being delivered to the mill, representatives of BSI-ASR shared that the industry is still not where it needs to be, as it currently looking at a TCTS of 12.2. The overall low quality of cane being delivered to the mill, according to BSI, will undoubtedly play a major role in the overall payment farmers will receive at the end of the crop season.
Exactly how we will end the crop season. We were hoping that we are able to get more around 10 TCTS, and so the cane price estimates are around there, 10, 11 TCTS, not 12. And so we're going to issue another cane price estimate by the end of this month, and that will have reflected some of those changes already. But we definitely want to keep an eye on the quality.
Right.
And the farmers share with us as well, one of the things that they were sharing last week was training. Sometimes the operators of the grubbers are not well trained to really do a good job. And so that's some of the things that we were discussing that they will go out and do. The real work here is how do we find what the exact problem is so that we can really solve it together. And one of those things really is the labor shortage, because we have, as I said earlier, 95 hours of out of cane, and that is really high compared to the factory lost time, for example, is at 90 hours. So it's about 3% factory lost time and 3.4% out of cane lost time. For weather, we have it separate. For weather, we have 340 something hours of lost time. But what does out of cane mean? Out of cane means that the factory has to stop because there is not enough cane coming in. And this could be, this is related specifically to either cane cutters not bringing in or not supplying enough for the harvesting group leaders to bring in, or coordination issues. Weather is calculated separately or is reported separately. And so that 95 hours of cane of last time due to cane out of cane supply is really high.
Right.
And that has to do with, of course, how do we coordinate ourselves to bring in that cane? At the moment, the factory is able to mill 7,000 tons per day, and that's not what's coming in per day. All right, and we had heard the farmers, we need to mill 7,000, we need to mill 7,000, and now we cannot produce that. Right?
The low quality of cane being delivered to the mill, according to Cane Farmer Relations Manager for BSI ESR, Olivia Aveles, is also being exasperated by the harvesting practices by many farmers.
Mud content, and so the mud content is high, has been high since the crop started, higher than normal, 5% mud content. We are usually around 4 to 5% mud content, and that takes away from the amount that can be produced. But also mud in the factory is like sandpaper going through the equipment, and for BSI, dealing with the mud is a lot. It depletes or really corrodes the equipment. It's challenging to make the sugar, and of course we also have a parameter called reducing sugars. That becomes a real nightmare when we have high reducing sugars. And right now, when we are going into the real hot season, where we start experiencing those, and that is when the cane has been burnt too long. So the cane kill to mill time should be around 24 hours. And kill to mill means they burn the cane or they cut the cane and they need to take it to the mill within 24 hours. So that's kill to mill. And that time really should be around 24 hours. Once it passes that time, if a cane field is burnt, for example, when it shouldn't have been burnt, and they're waiting 2-3 days to get that in, then the sugars that were supposed to be converted into real sugar starts to reduce or starts to break down, and that's the smell, the fermentation smell. And that really is a quality parameter that we really don't enjoy at the factory, because it makes the syrup and the processing really viscous or thick.
Reiterating the words of the Sugar Industry Control Board earlier this month about the need to transition the industry to payment for farmers based on individual quality, the millers today also shared the need for the system to be put in place if the industry is to survive.
I think, core sampler is a scary word, but we need something that will, definitely calibrate the quality of cane on an individual basis. So whatever name you use, we need something, a machine that will determine the quality on an individual basis, and reward those who do the right things, and and I don't want to say punish, but I think reward is an important thing because we're on a relative quality, right? But we need to get to true quality where you are paid based on the quality, and you determine that how much investment you're going to put, whether you're going to do the right things from land preparation right through to harvesting and delivery, because that's critical factors as well. So I think we have to get to that point. Every other industry, sugar industry, anywhere else in the world does that. We're still lagging behind in that regard.
Right. Because unless we give Peter what belongs to Peter and Paul what belongs to Paul, then we will never be able to fix some of the issues happening within the groups, right? Because the key driver to the cane quality in this case is the time of burning, when they are burning, and if you burn way ahead of time as a group, you already started on the wrong foot. And then how you cut that cane, how you harvest that cane. So it's all things that we as human beings, as leaders of the group, can control. So majority of those things, the cane quality can be controlled. There are things that cannot be controlled, like the impacts of fusarium, the impacts of the diseases and pests. So some of those things cannot be controlled unless you're doing certain things in your field. But even that, we can ensure that we are protecting our crops, because that's what we need to do. No, but I agree absolutely. That's the direction that the industry has to move, all in modernizing and going forward.
All right.
Another major challenge facing the industry, according to BSI ASR, is the unavailability of sufficient cane to maintain a steady milling rate in the factory. This, according to Aviles, is in part due to shortage of labor.
Number of things. I think there's a shortage. The minimum wage went up, so the salary went up with that, and cane cutters demanded that, of course. And a lot of the times the cane cutters have other jobs as well. Remember, they only work 6 months of the year, and so if they have another job that they can go to that's less strenuous, of course they will go to that, right? We do know that cane cutters are also, some of them are also fishermen or fisher folks, and so they go out after Easter. So we're going to see the issue even more. And what is the solution there, Kami, is, we have to, as an industry, go to mechanized, mechanical harvesting. We have to modernize. And we're going to talk a little bit later about how we bring in the digital technology into the industry, which is very exciting. But also the mechanical harvesters. Did you know that we have 11 harvesters in the industry now? It's not just BSI has harvesters along with NECL, which is the company that rents to us, but we have farmers who are bringing in their own, and we've taken a look at these. There are 11 whole stick harvesters and billeted cane, which means that they cut the cane in little pieces. The whole stick harvesters, we seem to have more, and so we know that these we encourage these farmers to get together, and if they have some problems or glitches during their operation, to reach out to BSI. We have experience with harvesters, not all of them, but we do have some knowledge. In some cases, some group members have, or some leaders have told us that They need more training for the operators to operate these machinery. Of course, they are new types of machinery in the industry, so we want to make sure that these people are getting some of that assistance as well.
Moving to mechanical harvesting, according to Aveles, would greatly improve the quality of cane being delivered to the mill while also solving the issue of labor. Despite the benefits of the program being offered, however, farmers are still skeptical about a full transition.
Is that, you know, you have different fields, but you want to make them contiguous. Meaning you encourage farmers, if they're neighbors, to
Yes.
plant in the same direction, to do certain things together, so that it's not necessarily that you're cutting out any farmer, right? But you're trying to encourage them to think more like a cooperative, kind of, to see how you can work together. To really benefit each other. And that's work that is critical for the associations, but it's equally important for the industry, right? There's a lot of transformation, and we know that with the Commission of Inquiry and everything that has happened, and the move to a singular sugar ministry are key parts of what we need to do, because we have to start thinking differently about everything that we're doing if we're going to remain competitive. Within CARICOM, we have a good market, and we're at the lead there, but we can't just sit and continue to think that, oh, it will be okay, it will be okay. We have to work at it. We have to make the transformation.
Exactly. Right. Larger blocks
Yeah.
is what we need, and those can be achieved, and we have some small farmers in our program. And by small farmers, I mean 5 acres, 10 acres, and we harvest their cane if they're next to another big farmer and or next to BSI fields. Definitely, it can be done as long as they have the right conditions, and we're assisting. And for that.
And for farmers who are ready to improve the way they harvest their crops, BSI ASR also has an ongoing mechanical harvesting program which farmers can take full advantage of.
For BSI, we do our recruitment during the off-crop season so that we inspect the cane.
Okay.
The other groups, the 11 harvesting groups that have harvesters, I'm not sure if they are giving services, but we do hear some have assisted. For example, over the weekend when there was an accidental fire, one of the mechanical harvesters, independent ones, was able to bring that in. But the process for us is during the off-crop season, they sign up with us. We go inspect their cane fields. Once their cane fields are adequate for mechanical harvesting, meaning they don't have lots of stones and stumps, and it has good production and long rows, then we're able to bring them in and make a plan. It's very critical that we have a plan for harvesting it. We sign a contract with the farmer because we are making a compromise, a commitment to cut that cane. And so if we don't bring that cane in, then it's an issue. So what we do at BSI is that we start the crop with the cane that is for BSI. We bring all of that, we try to bring some of that in. Then during the dry season, in the middle of the crop, we bring in all the farmers one, and then we end up with what's left for BSI. We still harvest during the crop some of the BSI cane because we have quite a bit of that. But yes, definitely, the farmers can reach out to us. We have a hotline. I'll share it in a bit, and we can harvest that cane. But it's so important that they come to us during the off-crop season so that we're able to do some of those inspections. We have something called the emergency contracts, which are those farmers who have an emergency due to a large fire, or their harvesting groups were unable to cut the cane. But at that point, it's more expensive, and we have to check the fields well, and we cannot guarantee that we're going to be able to cut that cane.
To Today marked the official close of a 2-year project which saw a total of 16 farming organizations across Belize receive extensive training and support under the Farmers Organizations for Africa, Caribbean and Pacific program. The overall project was launched in 2020 and aimed to enhance the sustainability of farmers' organizations by increasing incomes and improving livelihoods, food and nutrition security, and safety for smallholders and family farmers in Africa, Caribbean, and Pacific countries. Belize was one of the Caribbean nations selected for the implementation of the project, which started in 2022. With support from the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security, and Enterprise, participating cooperatives received capacity building assistance to better serve their members. As a result, these FOs have improved their understanding of market access, production practices, and the value addition for their crops. This project, according to Agriculture CEO Servulo Baiza, has greatly impacted the lives of those who took part over the past 2 years.
The initial meetings started way back in 2022. We had 13 organizations, cooperatives and some associations that benefit from this project. Roughly, approximately, it's about a $400,000 US project. So it's about roughly about 800,000 Belize now. And there was quite a few activities now. There was a lot of capacity building, especially in accounting, in record keeping. Then basically we have found out that that is one of our biggest weaknesses in terms of our farmer organizations, and so that was one of the main focuses in terms of the project. I think about 10 of them got actually the software QuickBooks, you know, so they got some computer training and how to use the accounting software. And again, we can't stop to emphasize the importance of this, because farmers need to be able to keep a record of their expenses. And how would they know, you know, at what price they're selling, if they're making any money or not, if they don't keep the proper accounting. There's some other innovative aspects of the project. For instance, the use of drones for either spraying for insecticides or fertilizers, you know. Again, this is one of the innovative and more what you call precision agriculture. There's also the use of sensors. I know one of the cooperatives, I think the one in Bombay, is using sensors to know, you know, when you need to put on to irrigate, when not to irrigate, and so on. No? So this is important for them in terms of the whole issue of climate change and sustainable agriculture, precision agriculture. We're very happy that, you know, all these different cooperatives from Corozal to Toledo, we have participation throughout the country, and so I think it's a project that has a big impact.
Coming up next, leadership crisis in the UDP. Again, Moses Barrow claims role amidst controversy as Tracy Tager Panton calls for unity. Stay tuned.
Attention farmers, the New World screwworm is a serious threat to livestock, pets, wildlife and humans. It causes yield losses, damages the quality of meat and skins, and can even kill them if left untreated. Check your animals daily. If you see any wounds on them, treat them immediately. Prevention is key. Apply approved healing and fly repellents to the navel of newborn animals after dehorning, ear tagging, or any other practice that leaves wounds on your animals to ensure your animals' well-being. If you notice worms in unusual wounds, report them immediately. Call Baja at 824-4872 or text or WhatsApp 670-7003 or call your nearest Ministry of Agriculture office. And don't forget, never transport or receive animals with injuries. Together, we will prevent the spread of this dangerous disease. This message was brought to you by Baja, OIRSA, AICA, USDA, and the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security, and Enterprise.
Every day, we access energy for cooling, lighting, and powering our electrical appliances and devices at work and at home. During cooler months, we rely less on cooling appliances such as fans and air conditioners. However, during warmer months, as the temperature and humidity rises, we use more energy to cool our spaces, and our appliances and electrical devices work harder than they do during the rest of the year. When the months become hotter, let's all practice energy conservation. Here are a few changes that you can make to manage your energy use. Check that all appliances and electrical devices are working efficiently. Turn lights off when not in the room. Unplug chargers, appliances when not in use. Turn off fans and TVs. Use energy-saving light bulbs such as LEDs. And look for the Energy Star products when purchasing appliances and electrical devices. These easy changes can reduce energy use and costs. You can also monitor your energy use during the month by reading your meter and calculating the reading using BEL's bill calculator on our mobile app or by visiting our website. Let's all save energy.
Just as supporters of the United Democratic Party thought that the party was on the road to unification, Moses Shine Barrow has declared that he remains the leader of the UDP despite having resigned following his defeat in the general elections held in March 2025. His resignation, which took effect after he lost his Mesopotamia constituency to fellow party member Lee Mark Chang, has sparked a series of controversies within the party. In a recent press statement, Barrow emphasized that his term as party leader is still valid until the National Convention set for later this year. He stated, "At your request, I will continue to serve you as party leader to ensure the continuity and strengthening of our great UDP." This reaffirmation of his leadership role comes amidst a backdrop of internal party strife and uncertainty. Barrow expressed concerns over the current status of the UDP, describing it as dormant, with a lack of unity and failure to adhere to the party constitution. He criticized the absence of a clear vision and resources needed for the party's advancement, asserting that he is bound to continue his role until the scheduled national convention as per the original arrangement he had in place. Tracy Panton, who claimed leadership after an October 2024 unity convention, became the leader of the opposition on March 14th. However, Barrow has contested the legitimacy of her ascension to this role, leading to ongoing legal disputes. His attorney has argued that the convention that sought to establish Panton's leadership was unconstitutional, asserting that she did not have the proper authority to convene it and was not a recognized party member at the time. As the Constitution unfolds, the UDP finds itself at a critical juncture, with both Barrow and Panton asserting their claims of leadership amid an atmosphere of division and legal challenges that could shape the party's future in the coming year. In light of Shine Barrow's recent announcement regarding his continued leadership of the United Democratic Party UDP, opposition leader Tracy Panton has urged party members to unite and refocus their efforts as they embark on the challenging journey of rebuilding after the elections. In a heartfelt address to the UDP supporters, Panton emphasized that despite the party facing difficulties and leadership controversies, it remains resolute in its mission to restore the confidence of the Belizean populace. "We will not be sidetracked or influenced by external distractions. Our priority is to diligently reconstruct the UDP from its foundation," Panton asserted. This appeal for solidarity follows Barrow's declaration, reaffirming his role as party leader. Barrow articulated, "Since my term extends until the National Convention scheduled for this year, 2025, at your request, I will continue in my capacity as party leader to ensure our beloved UDP's continuity and enhancement. Panton also highlighted the significance of collective involvement in the rebuilding process, stating that reconstruction involves time and shared effort. It necessitates the commitment of every individual. She underscored the critical need to hold the current government accountable, advocating for transparency and effective governance. In a move to engage the public, Panton revealed that the UDP will hold its first official press conference since the 2025 general elections. This important event is set for next Tuesday, where key national topics will be discussed. And in a significant move, the United Democratic Party UDP has publicly disavowed Moses Cheyenne Barrow, emphasizing that he is no longer holds any formal role within the party. In a formal statement issued recently, the UDP asserted that Barrow is not authorized to act or speak on its behalf, casting doubt on his claims to leadership. The party explicitly indicated that titles such as Honorable, Leader of the Opposition, and Party Leader are inaccurate and misleading, as Barrow possesses none of those positions within the UDP. The statement clarified, Mr. Barrow is not an official voice or face of the UDP, urging the public to disregard any statements or actions attributed to him as reflective of the party's views. Furthermore, the UDP highlighted that Barrow is not entitled to represent the Mesopotamia constituency under the party's banner, and they encouraged the reporting of any unauthorized actions directly to the Secretary General. One of the most anticipated events surrounding the agriculture sector in Belize is coming up, and will see 3 days of agriculture fun at the showgrounds in the capital city of Belmopan. The National Agriculture and Trade Show will kickstart on Friday, May 30th and run through to Sunday, May 1st, and will see a host of events surrounding Belize's agriculture sector, as well as lots of deals and surprises from the host of businesses who will also make an appearance at the event. This year, the Agriculture Show, according to CEO in the Ministry of Agriculture, Servo Labaiza, will be jam-packed with entertainment for the entire family.
Again, well, it's the dates. Let me start off with the dates. We pushed it back a month basically, because normally we have it at the beginning of May, normally around the Labor Day weekend. This time we're having it at the end of May, so it's May 30th, 31st, and 1st of June. I would say the usual activities, you know, the big show is the rodeo on Sunday. We're having a raffle again of the vehicle this year. I think we did some changes to that, so now you will be able to buy a ticket for $50. Last year it was for $100. Big things that we're working on is even access to the grounds. Working out right now, I believe, the sale of tickets online. You know, normally on Saturday and Sunday there's a huge line of people trying to get in, but we're trying to institute now the selling of tickets online. One of the new things that we will be doing in collaboration with the Belmopan City Council is the horse parade. In Spanish they call it cabalgata. Okay. So that is planned for Saturday morning to end like around midday, 1 o'clock. So I think the route is through the main streets in Belmopan, around the Ring Road and so forth, ending up then here at the showgrounds on Saturday. I know that's one of the new things. I think there are other things that we're still working on. I'm sure that the guys who are doing the rounds on the media will keep you guys updated.
One of the highlights of the Agri Show is the recognition of Farmers of the Year, which include Orange Walk's very own Juan Ricardo Carrillo, who won Junior Farmer of the Year, along with Female Farmer of the Year Naomi Requena from the Toledo District and Senior Farmer Gregorio Esquivel from the Corozal District. Village Council elections are expected to take place across the country every weekend from May 25th to the 22nd of June. Nominations for candidates to contest the upcoming elections is slated to begin in less than 3 weeks on March 18th. And so across the country, both major political parties are working to get their teams in place. With the elections nearing here in Orange Walk, tensions are already on edge as controversy erupted in Trial Farm Village on Wednesday night, where two candidates have expressed interest in the chairmanship position in that community under the People's United Party. As tensions grew thick during a meeting last night at the residence of a PUP supporter, the area representative for Orange Walk North today issued a statement clarifying what happened. In his release, Minister Ramon Cervantes raises various points which he says were misrepresented about Wednesday's happening. Minister Cervantes says that while the meeting was a partisan meeting, the topic of village council elections was raised and dialogue was welcome from those in attendance. One such person who chose to speak was sitting councillor Glenn Tillett. After being allowed to address the gathering, the release says that Tillett, quote, became insulting and disrespectful to members of the audience, and the decision was made to stop his speech, end quote. The meeting, according to Minister Cervantes, peacefully resumed, and several community members were able to express their interest in participating in the upcoming elections. Those names, the release says, were formally recorded. The release ends by expressing regret about the events, adding, and we quote, "It is deeply unfortunate that a sitting village councillor chose to attend the meeting not to contribute constructively, but to disrupt and provoke attendees," end quote. Glenn Tillett today also issued his own statement on the happenings of Wednesday's meeting. His statement states, "I must admit last night was rough. It was clear from the moment we walked in, the North Executive had their own plan, their own slate, and their disrespectful and arrogant people ready to bark and bite," end quote. Tillett says he was given only 2 days to prepare for a meeting that was already biased, already designed to endorse certain candidates. Tillett continues, "I pushed for this meeting to be held at a safe public place and urged for it to be done properly, rather than being hosted as a last-minute, unprofessional, and power-grabbing move. At the end of the night, my team and I were left disrespected, silenced, and dismissed at every turn," end quote. At this time, there has been no clear indication on who will be the official candidates who will be contesting the upcoming village council elections in Trial Farm Village. However, based on Wednesday's series of events, it is sure to be a fight, as Tillett maintains his interest to run for chairman under the PUP. Sitting Councillor Eusebio Urbina, we understand, has also expressed interest in the position. And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
Hola, ¿estás en tu teléfono móvil ahora mismo, navegando las redes sociales, escuchando la radio o viendo televisión? ¿Alguna vez te has detenido a pensar qué es lo que le da energía a mi dispositivo? La electricidad es esencial para nuestra vida diaria, dando energía a nuestros hogares, negocios, transporte y por supuesto esa serie que no puedes dejar de ver. Pero, ¿cómo funciona todo esto? En esta temporada de Watts and Whys of Energy, te llevamos detrás de cámaras, hablando con nuestros expertos y trayéndote novedades y respuestas a tus preguntas más importantes sobre la energía. Mi nombre es Emanuel Pech y te invito a acompañarnos en vivo por Facebook y prepárate para ver la energía desde una nueva perspectiva. Dale like, comparte y síguenos para ser parte de la conversación.
Belize Electricity Limited, providing you safe and reliable power when you need it.
Have you seen Lori?
Check in at the White Lotus, where paradise turns into a playground for the privileged, and every sun-soaked moment is dripping with intrigue. Stream The
Have a
White
wonderful
Lotus
last day.
on HBO Max, available with Centaur.
As the northern sugar industry continues to face serious problems which threaten the industry's very existence, BSI ASR has implemented various programs which seek to work together with farmers to increase their yields and overall profitability. The latest project being looked at to help the way farmers do business is Smart Grow. The newly launched mobile application, according to ASR, is a great tool to grow the industry and improve its future. The mobile service allows users to connect directly with financial institutions, facilitate direct purchases of farm inputs and services, as well as obtain secured individual information.
What is it? It is really to start modernizing the industry. We're going digital as well as with the rest of the world. Smart Grow was the main objective of Smart Grow is to improve productivity, a platform from which farmers can improve productivity in the fields. The productivity of a farmer is critical. The higher amount of tons cane per acre they can get out of their fields, the lower their cost, and the better the quality. So if you do all the right things in your field and you get a higher amount of cane per acre, you get more money. And so that is what Smart Grow is all about. How can we improve the credit access to farmers? How can we improve the microcredit? People are willing to give credit to farmers, but they need a secure way in which to repay, right? Smart Grow is the combination of financial activities and the information that exists in the industry. We have a lot of information that exists in the industry for farmers, but they don't have access to it, or if they have access to it, they need to go to their association, to SICB, to collect this, whilst they can have it at the palm of their hands so that they're able to make the negotiations and transactions with their financial institutions, with their creditors. And what is that information? What does a Smart Grow has? It has 4 key areas in the platform. It's really combining the delivery information, CIMIS, the maps. It's combining the cane quality and the cane payment. So the farmer no longer has to, take a bus and go all the way to the bank to collect their information or their money. They can do it off platforms, both the bank platform and now Smart Grow.
In addition to benefits for individual farmers, Smart Grow also shares benefits to harvesting group leaders and even associations on a whole.
Smart Grow will have what is called a credential. The credential of the farmer is important. And what does that mean? It means that they have the information of what cane they delivered for the last 5 years. What fields this cane came out from, and if they're entering their information into CIMIS, they will be able to see it back at the palm of their hands. So it also has the payment. They are able to check, not will be, it's a dream came true already. They are able to see the cane payments. It is updated every Thursday in terms of cane payment, but it is updated every half an hour. If you are a harvesting group leader, you will be able to see all the deliveries of your trucks. You're also able to see your maps, and it has a locator. So if you press the locator, you're able to locate the number of your field, and that is what CIMIS is about. So the app has the layer itself that is indicating the field. It doesn't have more information in the background because that information is private to the farmer, so only the farmer himself or herself can access the information. But the general map has the field IDs And so if you're standing at your field and you click the button to locate yourself, you're able to see where you're standing and get the number. You're able to see the notifications from the factory. We're going to move all the information coming out in SMS into the app. So you're going to be able to see your cane quality, your cane delivery information, all the updates from the factory. And of course, the key thing here, if we're tracking the cane to the mill, we're going to be able to see the yield per acre, and that is the key. Because we really need to be tracking how can we do better in terms of cane quality and cane quantity in the field.
As the industry moves towards mechanical harvesting to help combat significant drawbacks being faced by farmers due to labor shortage, BSI ESR is also working on expanding its recently launched Agro Pro initiative, which helps farmers with replanting and field maintenance.
Because of the mechanical harvesting program, we have now another program, which is Agro Pro. And this was a petition really from the farmers within that program. They say, well, help me fix my rows, help me do the land preparation. So we actually came up with this project. So we have all the farm services that they were asking for, from land preparation, the row, the furrowing, which is the row, the straight rows, planting, we have fertilizing, and weed control. And of course, we also have pest control. So we have the full package under Agro Pro. The farmers can also get that on credit if they have a good credit history and a good repayment capacity. So Agro Pro for replanting services has a 1-year grace period. So they don't have to pay. They don't have to pay anything on that first year, and on the in the second, third, and fourth, then they repay the amounts, and they repay it once the cane starts to come in. They do need to also sign a contract with us for mechanical harvesting, because we harvest the cane and we prepare the fields for mechanical harvesting, and that's where the transformation comes in, no?
Right. And I see here that one of the information that is needed.
For more information about of these ongoing projects, farmers can reach out to BSI ESR. Today, Prime Minister John Bressenden nominated Caroline Trench Sandiford for a second term as President of the Senate. A statement from the government of Belize noted that the United Democratic Party, UDP, has been duly consulted and has expressed support for re-election as Senate President. The Prime Minister acknowledges this constructive cross-party support in the national interest. For now, consultations with the social partner senators continue. The Smallholder Horticulture Empowerment and Promotion SHEP program, a market-oriented approach to farming, is currently being implemented in Belize with a focus on transforming the mindset of farmers to view agriculture as a business. Today, representatives from the Ministry of Agriculture had the opportunity to visit Mr. Carlos Eck, a dedicated farmer from Concepcion Village in the Corozal district, who is actively participating in the SHEP trainings. Mr. Eck, who has been passionate about farming from a young age, is currently cultivating a diverse range of crops, including tomatoes, cabbage, onions, cilantro, carrots, and watermelon. Through the SHEP program, the Ministry of Agriculture aims to empower farmers by equipping them with the knowledge and tools to make informed decisions based on market demand. This includes training in crop selection, marketing strategies, and data-driven farming practices, all designed to improve productivity, increase income, and ensure sustainable livelihoods. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Friday, April 25th here on Ctv3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at Ctv3 News BZ. From all of us here at Ctv3 News, Thank you for watching and listening tonight.